Welcome back to Rebel Ants Radio. My name is Kevin, joined as always by my co-host, co-partner, co-founder, work husband, first night, aka Miguel. Miguel, I think we're working.
I think we're working.
I think all the gears are working right now.
I think all the gears are on.
All the gears are on right now. And I'm just gonna throw the.
Did we figure this shit out?
No, of course not.
Did we figure it out?
It's different every time. There's something wrong differently every time. But I think we're in good standing. We've done a lot of testing, a lot of behind the scenes work to get a good quality audio and video experience for you.
That is correct.
You, the listeners.
You out there.
You, the watchers. Anyway, we got 34 people with us right now, and that's not enough for me to put on a performance. So I'm going to sit here until we hit 100. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're not going to do that. So I'm asking like 100 people if they hear us.
And?
I haven't gotten a response.
Oh my God. All right, let's put up the audio visualizer. Do we have audio
Yes,
coming
they can
in?
hear us. They just responded.
All right, look at us, big boys.
Now, I wonder if we switch cameras, can they still hear us? Is the question.
That is the question. Let's go to...
Can you hear us? Can you still hear us now?
We are transitioning over to another scene.
We are transitioning.
And the
That sounds dirty.
question is,
Sounds a
can
little
we
dirty.
be heard?
Transitioning.
Can we...
It sounds a little dirty, doesn't it?
I don't think there's
I don't
anything
know.
dirty about transitioning. It's kind of a
Can
weird
you
way to...
hear us now?
Our audio visualizer tells us...
What is happening?
The audio visualizer tells us that audio is coming in, so I feel good about it.
Somebody said it sounds weird.
Oh, does it?
No,
really?
it doesn't. Does it?
Who said that?
I don't know.
I wonder if it's the if there's an echo. Can you pull it up on your phone? See if it sounds weird.
It could be. Let's see.
We both have to talk though, otherwise we won't know if there's an echo. Anyway, give us a comment. Let us know where are you joining from tonight. I'm in New Jersey. I don't know about the rest of you.
Let's see.
We both have to talk though, otherwise we won't know if there's an echo.
Testing the echo. If there is an echo.
It's coming
Where
through.
are you joining from tonight? I'm in New Jersey. I don't know about
Are you in New Jersey? Can you hear me? Testing? We're just testing. Yeah, no, I don't hear anything. I don't hear any echo.
All right. Well, whoever said that is wrong. So thank you. The only issue I'm seeing on the screen here is that something looks like it's not going all the way down on the layers.
Don't start moving
I know,
parts
I have
around.
to. It's this. This got
Why?
moved.
Oh, that. Okay.
There we go. Okay. And we're back.
And we're good. Audio's good.
All right.
Kevin
all
has a
right.
new laptop.
Not yet. Well, I have a new laptop, but I'm not using it yet.
No, he's not using it yet.
I didn't have the time or patience to set it up properly.
No, I was
for
actually
this
very-
experience.
I was very happy when you called me and told me you were getting a new laptop.
Yes, we
Got
are
excited.
upgrading from from an Air to a Pro. The Air is just not meant to do the things that we do, that you guys deserve from an experience.
Well, I have a Pro. It's just you don't like using.
You don't like using the
You're
software.
right. You're right. I don't like.
You don't use the software. I have to push all the pixels around here. So I was asking you a question right before we went live. I'm just
What
going
was
to
the
jump right
question?
into it. If you had to launch a project today, what chain would you do it on?
Oof, that's
Are
a
you going
crazy
abstract? You going
question.
Ape? You going ETH? You going Solana? Like,
Oh,
where
my-
is your head at? Can you tell me the pros and cons of
Right
each that you're
now,
thinking in your head?
at this moment,
Yeah, probably not ETH, right? I think
Probably
we're good
not
on
ETH.
ETH.
yeah,
Okay, so then
Ape.
the question becomes: do we do Sol because
Ape.
it's second to most popular? You'd go Ape.
Yeah, but you asking me the question.
I know that's what I'm trying to talk through the pros and cons.
I would go Ape right now.
Play along with me, buddy.
I would go Ape. Definitely 100% Ape.
You would go Ape, and can you tell the listeners why you would go Ape?
Because they're very supportive. No, they are. In all seriousness, like, so obviously Casey just launched
Chumps.
the Chumps, right? And I'm a huge supporter of Chumps and just the community, how it rattles up with each other and helps each other out. That I really like that, and I think it's something that's missing in other chains. Like I don't see that often anywhere. But I did see it in Ape Chain. Like everybody's just for each other. Everybody's helping each other out. Everybody's like talking to each other about it. You know what I mean? Like people are minting out. Just because the community is so together. There's no like I don't see the animosity. I don't see like the competition.
Right. It's less
thing.
competitive. It's more collaborative.
It's more
it
collaborative,
seems.
yeah.
I think the
at least to me it
spaces-
seems that way.
Yeah, for sure. The spaces that we've been on and, watching different projects get together and kind of promote each other is encouraging, maybe even inspiring, some might say. But yeah, there are good things happening off the major chains, right?
Yeah.
I don't know that I'd ever launch something on Bitcoin, but I think Solana still has a place. But I think right now there's some more interesting things happening. Right?
With Solana?
No, with Ape. With Ape, I mean, Abstract is
Oh, yeah,
interesting
for
too,
sure.
right? It's another new kid on the block. So as I think Solana used to be the second choice behind Ethereum for launching an NFT, but now I think Ape would make sense. I think, like you said, the ecosystem being built behind it, just like Abstract is doing something for their ecosystem, they're broader, good. But I think ApeChain is very focused on builders, whereas Abstract is focused on consumers. So if we wanted to build something, I think ApeChain makes sense to launch something there.
It definitely does to me. Yeah.
All right. So first, I want to say I'm sorry for your loss
Who did I lose?
with the way the markets have been going lately
yeah.
and your future retirement.
No, I'm still good.
You know, we being
I've
having
been good for a long time.
having Bitcoin at 93,000 is still pretty fucking good.
It's-
you know,
Yeah, it's still really good.
I
I'm
think
not complaining. My average buy on Bitcoin, do you really want to know
under $1.
what it was?
Under $1.
No, it went up because I kept buying. but-
$100.
No, hell no. I remember, you got to remember the year I bought in.
The year was 1983.
So my average is, actually, I'm going to tell you right now what my average is.
Was the year 1983 that you started buying Bitcoin?
I'll tell you right now what my average is.
Okay. No, I think, you know, the title of this episode is How to Survive the Downtrend. And I think there's a few things.
My average is $3.98.
Woo! $3.98.
That's my average.
Well, yeah, you bought one Bitcoin at $3.98 and you're
Just
still
one.
holding on to it. So
Yeah,
that's
that's
pretty
right.
good. That's pretty good profit.
Just
Pretty
one,
good
baby.
percentage gain.
That's all I need.
So you, as somebody who has quote unquote significant holdings
I do.
in
Okay.
crypto,
Yeah.
how do you emotionally stomach all the red days?
That's a difficult question.
That's the whole point of this episode.
It's a
Don't
difficult
cockblock
question
me.
because no, I'm not. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you the truth, and I'm going to tell the audience the truth. It's really difficult because when I first bought into Bitcoin and the price was going up, what are you doing?
Just keep talking.
What are you doing right now? I just want to know what you're doing.
Try to move the monitor out of the way.
Don't try to get naked in front of me. What is happening right now?
Keep talking.
So, it was a roller coaster ride. It was very emotional. You want to sell, but you don't want to sell, right? Then you see it hit like $10, $17, $100, $300, $400, and you're like, shit, what is happening, right? But then something crazy happened, right? And I think that's when like other coins came out, like Doge and stuff like that at that point. So I kind of shifted my attention to that. So that's why I always say since the beginning that we've been doing this, that Doge is one of my favorite coins because it kept me sane. So I traded it, right? Like Doge was one of those that I held and traded some. You know what I mean? Like sold some. Obviously, you know I sold some of my Doge, and that's how I got
Accidentally.
my beautiful house. That's how I retired my mom. You know, I did a lot of things with that. But at the same time, you know, in the back of your head, you still think that you got this Bitcoin that's sitting there. What do you do with it, right? And then it creates this emotional roller coaster where you fall into like, it's very difficult. Like it's very difficult to sleep at night. It's very difficult to not look at it on your phone. So it got to the point that I had to like remove the apps from the main screen so that I don't look at it for a while until I got used to it. And then once I got used to it and I started trading other coins and doing what kept my attention going, then that's how it kind of shifted from looking at my Bitcoins every single day. And that's how I pretty much survived, not selling not one fucking Bitcoin.
That's a good strategy. You know, I think for someone like you who's been holding Bitcoin for over a decade, someone like me who's been following the market for over a decade, but not holding with as much conviction, I think it's clear that there are cycles, right? It will go up, it will go down, but my conviction, my belief is that it'll always end up with a new all-time high. I've heard, you know, how many times did we hear this is the last time we're going to see $10,000? This is the last time we're going to see 50,000. Those things might have actually happened by now because we've heard this is the last time you'll see 50,000, then a drop below it. soon we're going to be saying this is the last time you're going to see 100,000. I think when you zoom out, it's clear that the increase from 2009 to today is astronomical, right?
I'm gonna tell you what happened too at one point. It was driving me nuts when it hit like, I don't know, it was like at 15,000, 17,000. So I was like, that's it, I'm gonna sell it all. Right. So then I really didn't need it at that point. And I had a conversation with my mom, I remember, about it. And she's like, well, what do you want to do? And I said, well, I don't know. I don't know if I think I should sell it, because what if it goes down to zero? Because that's when that whole thing happened where everybody was so skeptical about like what's going to happen. Bitcoin's going to disappear. And then here in the US, you know how we're like crazy.
Yeah.
Right. So she was like, let me ask you a question. Do you need it? And I said, no. And then she goes, do you believe in the technology? And I said, yeah. And she goes, well, that's your answer. Keep it there.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. And I said, you know what? You're right. If I lose it, I lose it. I never had it in the first place. And it just sat there.
Yeah. And it worked out.
And it worked out. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the other idea that people have generally with trading is like having goals in mind, right? To say, I will sell at X point.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's the mentality of a trader. It's
right.
It's
different than a holder.
correct.
Someone who's going to hodl for,
Yeah.
it's hard to say like forever, but it's like, why would you sell? That's almost the question, right? If you don't need the money in your pocket, why would you sell?
Correct,
If you have the conviction. And then the question is, why did you buy it if you didn't have the conviction? Or what's changed? And it's okay to change your mind, or like, you learn something new. Maybe your project isn't as sound as you thought it was. But I think if your plan is to sell, then you need to set a goal and just wait it out. And don't freak out every time it goes red for the day or goes green for the day. You get excited, because those dips are going to come forever. So it's just a matter of saying, I'm going to follow my plan.
But at the same time, you have to understand the market, right? Like I came from trading on the stock market, penny stocks, right? So penny stocks, you have to really be into it to be able to like be successful at it.
Yeah.
You have to continuously look at it. You have to continuously see what's happening, what the news is, what's happening with it, what's coming out, who's talking about it, who's not talking about it. Like it's a crazy world, same as like the meme coin world.
Right.
So it was difficult to adapt to that let me not look at it mentality. Let me just leave it there and forget about it. And I think that people get so focused on like, oh my God, it went down, 10 grand now. But at the same time, zoom out. Like you probably bought in when it was like 50. You're still making out. Like stop panicking.
Yeah. I don't think meme coins are meant to live on forever the way that some of these actual blockchains are, right?
Yeah.
These meme coins live on top of the blockchain, which is where the coins live. But I think an actual L1, an actual layer one token it has the longevity, and that's where I would feel a lot better just holding something.
Right. I agree. You know what it is too, that people just forget to zoom out a lot. They just look at what's happening and they look at the news and they panic and they panic sell, right? So I remember when I was trading stocks, I had a rule which was 10%, right? If I go up 10%, if I make 10% of what I already put in, then I'm taking 10% back out, right? And keeping the rest there. So I already put my money back into my bank account or whatever it was that I already put in. If it goes up another 10%, then I'll take another 10% out. And then I'll leave the rest there again. So that was my rule of thumb always when I was trading like penny stocks or whatever. And, that worked out for a long time. So it does work, but you have to be very disciplined. You can't be like panicking about it.
Yeah.
You can't be like going crazy about it. You can't just dump it all, because then you won't make any money at all. The whole point of trading is to make money at the end of the day.
How do you frame it in your mind that Bitcoin has hit all-time high within the last 90 days? Solana hit all-time high recently, but ETH is like sinking. And ETH is still way up compared to where it was.
Yeah.
But it's floating around $2,500-$2,700, where the other two have had all-time highs. And ETH, in the last two cycles, I think hasn't seen the same increase. Does that change your conviction in Ethereum at all? Does it make you think I should reallocate my Ethereum holdings into something else?
No, it actually makes me want to buy more ETH.
Because you think it'll eventually go up.
Yeah.
And this is a low point for it.
But you got to remember, ETH is an entire ecosystem.
Yeah.
Right? So at the end of the day, ETH is going to keep surviving because of what it does.
And there's a shitload of things built on top of it.
Correct.
That continue to be built on top of it. But the coin of ETH, not Ethereum, like the ETH, is just not performing in the same way other
No, it's not.
coins
No,
are.
not at all.
Yeah. And, you know, if somebody said to you, would you buy more Bitcoin now? You'd have to say, well, do you think it's going to go up from here? Like, do you think you can make a profit on it? Right. So even though it's insanely high today,
You know what's funny? I do buy Bitcoin weekly.
yeah, I have a $20 reoccurring each week. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
I
like,
mean, that's
I just
have
want to
like
know a minute.
now at this point I have like $100, but this is a
Yeah.
different account. You know what I mean? Like I just put $100 weekly.
All right, I'm not going to
Call
hack
it a
you,
day.
okay, bro? Yeah, for me, I just feel good knowing that I'm buying,
Yeah.
slowly accumulating. And again, I think if I were to look back if I look in a year from now, do I think it'll be higher than it is today? Yes. Are there yearly cycles where you could look back and say, no, it went down over the course of the year? Yes. But if you zoom out even more and say, okay, over 5 years,
This is what happened.
it's almost
Yeah.
always up. So that's where I think, yeah, even if it's $20 today, whatever it is, I think it will still go up from whatever you buy it at today.
Yeah, I believe
if you
that.
have the conviction and the patience. It's
Yeah.
like the saying about a tree. When's the best time to plant it? The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yes, of course it would have been great to buy Bitcoin at $3.98. But if you think it'll go up, if you think it still has potential,
Mm-hmm.
then now is just as good.
Yeah, I agree.
You can still do well now. So
I still tell people when they get into crypto for the first time, the first thing they need to buy is at least $100 worth
absolutely,
of Bitcoin.
yeah. That's the only thing I would feel confident telling anyone
Yeah.
to invest in. I'm, besides my
Forget
brother,
about the rest of the other coins.
right. My brother has played along with me for some meme coins over the last couple of years, but really Bitcoin is
Yeah.
the only thing that I would confidently tell someone, yes.
I can tell you this year alone, I lost pretty much everything I've invested in as far as meme coins. I don't think I made anything at all.
Yeah, so that's another good point because I think when you invest in anything, you have to be prepared to lose it, right? You shouldn't
Yeah,
be putting
yeah.
your life savings. And we've seen that. We've seen these posts coming out of the Trump, the
I've
Melania cycle.
put some
Yeah, I mean, people are like, I put my life savings
Serious
in
money
this,
in some
and it's
stuff.
gone. So it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, but you have
it's
to be
gone.
prepared to lose everything that you're
Yeah.
putting in. So don't put in more than
You want to know what's
have.
one coin that I really thought was really going to take off? The Mark Casey coin. Like I thought that being an artist myself, like I was like, oh shit, this is an artist
Yeah, the
doing
Casey
this.
one?
Like,
Yeah.
and he's known. He has like millions of followers, like in all his throughout the socials. And I'm like, shit, this is going to be good. It's going to be something. And no, it didn't. Have you ever seen any of like the memes from Mark Casey?
Yeah.
And they're cool, right?
They're fun.
They're
Yeah.
fun. Everybody's looking at it. I just think he didn't know what to like do with it or how to market it correctly, right? But I think from an artist standpoint, I was like hyped about it. I was like, oh shit, this is gonna go somewhere. It's Mark Casey. Like, how could it not? He's
Yeah.
got like millions of followers, and boom, no, it didn't.
I
It rugged, and it wasn't him who rugged it. It was just the community rugged it.
Right, they left. It seems like to be successful in meme coins, you need to have a lot of time focused on that. Like you said, you need to be watching.
You gotta be like penny
so
stocks. Yeah.
carefully to see, is this the right time to sell?
Yeah.
Is everyone else selling now?
Yeah.
Do I need to get out ahead of that? So I don't have the time or patience or knowledge to do that. That's why I think a stable coin, which like Bitcoin, which I know is not the definition of a stable coin, but I feel safer in Bitcoin than I do any other coin.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To your point, I think Ethereum is probably still a good buy now because I believe it will go up.
Yeah. As far as meme coins, I still think that Doge is a really good meme coin. I
Yeah.
still think that it has a lot of potential. I still think that X is going to intertwine it somehow. Right. So I think there's still a lot of potential there in Doge. And it's just the following. It's such a core following.
Yeah, they've been around. Those are long time.
Those guys have been around for a very long time and they have not left. You know, I've been there since the beginning of Doge and I have not left.
Yeah.
And I still love Doge, right? Like, now that we mentioned Doge, we have to mention SHIB too at the same time. Like, the stuff that they're building that people don't know they're building, it's really incredible when you really think about everything they've built. The problem is, so I remember reading a post a couple of days ago from the SHIB community that all the stuff that they've been doing.
Yeah, the
and
building an operating
They're
system, right?
building a huge like it's huge.
I had a link for that. I don't know if I still have it. Keep talking.
But for some reason, the coin is worth like trillions. So it's really hard to even get it to go up in price because the demand is really not there right now.
Is it trillions?
It's in the trillions, yeah. And they've burnt like half of it. And it's still in the trillions.
I have a link here. I'm going to pull up.
They're still burning the coin. Like millions and millions of coins are being burned. And it just doesn't do anything for the price. Right? But I think that now that everything they wanted to build is built, I think that now they need to focus on like the advertising part or like talking about it and just the teaching part of it, you know, letting people know what it does. Because if you look at their entire ecosystem, they have a lot of like You have to see this. Like, it's crazy. Ship is doing some crazy stuff.
I've got where did I put ship? Oof, I think I just lost that. Keep talking. I pulled up that article you had.
The ship one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I see what I did here.
Well, I took a lot of pokes at them out on X. I kept saying, like, when is this gonna go up? Like, when is this gonna happen? Like, I can poke in the bear, but nobody ever bid on it. But either way, I still think that the Shiba community has a lot of potential just based on what they've built. Like, they've built so much craziness. It's insane. What are you doing right now?
Just keep talking, bro.
But you're not even focused.
I'm trying to test that we just did this correctly.
Unbelievable, this guy.
Oh my god, you really
He's
have no
testing
improv
stuff
skills.
as we're going, as we're live. That's okay.
We didn't test out this scene before, and I want to make sure that this scene works.
All right, did it work?
I don't know yet.
Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah, so I hold. Do you hold any ship?
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I hold ship, and I'm still buying more ship actually.
You know what it is? I have so many different wallets. I don't know where I hold
Yeah.
what, but let me see if I can figure it out.
I have a
really
ton
not-
of ship somewhere.
I don't think I have a ton, but I have some.
I still buy
It's
it
in coin.
like every month. I still buy some. You know what I mean? Like just to hold and to keep there because I just feel like something's gonna happen with it.
The
it's just
community
too-
on Reddit is very impassioned.
It's you know what it is? It's just too much being built on that whole entire ecosystem.
Okay, my ship is not in my crypto.com
Is that what you're looking
wallet.
for? Your wallet right now?
Well, I checked the crypto.com wallet. It's not there. Let me check my MetaMask. I will find it.
Anyway, so yeah, so I think that SHIB has a lot of potential, but I also think that Doge has a lot of potential too. Like the OGs, they have a lot of huge potential. I think that those coins, are still gonna do a lot. Again, like I think Doge is gonna be intertwined with X at some point or another. As far as
At a
like
government label, at a government level, or no?
no, I don't think so. I think just on X, like some sort of like tipping mechanism or like something's got to happen with it. I'm pretty sure it will.
Alright,
It just doesn't make sense for it to not for that not to happen.
I have a million SHIB, just about, which is only $15. So
Really?
I feel better saying it's a million coins than dollars. Okay, so this article that we've pulled up here. Shiba Inu community introduces SHIB OS for seamless Web3 transition. So this is from January, just a couple of weeks ago. Recently introduced a blockchain-based SHIB operating system offering a seamless Web 2 to Web 3 transition. Highlights, the SHIB OS offers 36 different chambers, each with its own use case, offering seamless Web 2 to Web 3. In turn, market watchers remain optimistic on the meme coin's future endeavor, and SHIB price movement. So, yes, there's things happening there. Some
Well,
meme
Shibarium
coins
is
don't
there
do
too.
anything.
Don't forget that they also built Shibarium.
That's right.
And
That's right.
Shibarium is pretty cool. I don't know if you've used it.
No, I've not.
Yeah, I've used it. It's pretty. It's pretty fucking cool. I got to tell you. It's just I feel like nobody really knows about it.
What does it take for them to grow their popularity? Because that's probably in their best interest.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I think that they were so focused on the building that now they're shifting their focus into like teaching people what needs to be done or like what they're building or what they have to offer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's what's happening now.
Do you think we should talk about ourselves?
We can, yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot going on.
We're building a lot of shit, bro. I'm tired.
Yeah, there is a lot going on. We don't do a great job promoting ourselves.
We don't know.
So let me start.
We actually really suck at promoting ourselves.
I know. We're
We're
too
terrible.
busy.
We are too busy.
Our minds are, in the trenches. So let's start by inviting people to join us over at rebelants.io. And right here at the beginning, they'll see a link that says click here to mint. This is their chance to mint a Rebel Ant Battle for the Colony for 0.0025 ETH.
It's like $6 now or
Yeah,
$7.
it's less than 7. So on top of that, there's still, we have about half. No, we don't have about half minted.
No, yeah, we do. We have about half minted.
Okay, we have about half minted, but there's still some bounties out there, meaning
We still have bounties
there
there.
are some very rare NFTs out there in this collection that have not yet been minted. If you mint them, you will receive a cash prize from
More.
First Night over here, who will send you money in ETH, which he has already done. We've proved it on the show and
We have, yeah.
on Twitter that he's a man of his word and he'll send the money out. So we encourage you to take our financial advice of buying at least one Rebel Ant Battle for the colony
Spend
because
$6,
right,
$7.
it's $6. Get over it. Do it. Get some.
People are out there spending hundreds in meme coins that they're losing.
Thousands.
How about you bet on us?
Thousands. Yes.
We've been doing this for what, 2.5 years now.
Yeah. What's the harm in spending?
And we're not going
$24. Spend a few bucks to get some Rebel
Zero.
Ants. Support us. This is not. There's no ads on here. We're not.
No.
We're not sponsored by anyone. This is us. These are the little guys right here trying to make it happen. But we need your support and we want your participation because
We're
we have a
building
lot
some
of
cool
good things
shit.
coming. Yeah.
We're building some cool shit.
So again, head over to rebelants.io. You can click here to mint, and then you will have a chance to connect your wallet, and you can mint a ant for 0.0025. Now, the reason you want an ant is because in the very near future, we will be holding battles between the different gangs within this collection. So there's 11 gangs, and of the 5,555 ants in the collection, each one belongs to a gang. So there's 555 ants in each gang. Each ant has a power associated with it based on the rarity of its traits. So the more traits it has, the more points it has,
So the more powerful it is.
the more powerful it is. Now, the way that this works is that we're going to have AI tell the story of these gangs doing battle each week. And it will determine the winner based on the probability of the combined power of the ants within the gang. So if there's two gangs battling this week, maybe it's the Shogun and the Ronin, we're going to tell AI the total power of each of those gangs based on the people who have ants and that are participating and registered for the battle. And AI will pick the winner. So it doesn't mean necessarily that the more powerful one wins. It just means it's higher probability. We've tested this a number of times, and
1,000 times, yeah.
it does vary. So it's not just the higher gang. Now, of that winning gang's power, if they win, you get a portion of the payout based on your percentage of that total. So if you contributed 10% of the total power, you will get 10% of the prize. So one round might be $100 in RPepe. You will get 10% of that. You will get $10 worth of RPepe. So the more ants you hold, the higher your reward will be if you had the winning gang.
Correct.
And the only way to have the winning gang is to hold more ants of different gangs. Duh, the math writes itself.
And not only that, that's only season 1.
That's season 1.
Season 1 is more of us learning what you guys want to do, how you guys like it, what's happening, blah, blah, blah. Season 2, there's a lot more schematics happening behind the scenes that we're building. That's going to take more time. Things are going to be or look better. Should we put it that way?
A better user experience.
A better user experience. That's a good way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things being built. I mean, season 2, season 3, season 4. The more seasons we do, the more stuff that we're building. The more stuff are going to be for the user, for you guys. So
Right.
when you guys are playing a game or buying ants or something, it's interactive. You guys will be able to do things that you're not capable of doing with other NFTs, right?
Yes, as we posted on X recently, this system that we're building is being built from the ground up because it doesn't exist. It's not
Correct.
the most complicated thing in the world, but this use case of NFTs doesn't exist, and we're building it so that we can see this happen and make this available for our
Correct.
holders in our community. And we think that it's going to be interesting enough that people want to participate because, like I said, it's not the newest, it's not the most crazy, complicated
It's
process,
not, no.
but we wanted to work very specifically for the uniqueness of the ants. So when you talk about NFTs, non-fungible tokens, I mean, this is taking it to like the extreme because as different as a pudgy penguin could be from another pudgy penguin, it doesn't necessarily change the benefit to you for holding that specific one. In this case, you actually will be benefited by holding a specific one because they each have their own power, up to 100.
Right. And not only that, I don't know, do you want to give some alpha about like one-on-one battles and stuff like that?
Yeah, we got some plans for each season. There's going to be different game mechanics, different switches we're going to turn on and off and make it more engaging and more rewarding as well. So one of those ideas is one-on-one battles.
Yeah. One of those ideas is if I want to beat the shit out of Kevin, then I'll challenge him to a battle, right? But not only would I challenge him to a battle, one of the ideas is that we can wager, for example, I don't know, an NFT, right? We could wager a Chumps or a Saint and be like, hey, I hate you. We're going to battle for this Chumps and we're going to hold it prisoner until there's a winner. So we'll hold that NFT prisoner until the battle happens, and then whoever wins will get that NFT, technically.
Yeah, it's sort of like the prediction market, but you're making predictions on your battles,
yeah.
and the prize is the thing that you've wagered, right? So
Right.
we would each agree to what's being wagered, whether it's a monetary amount or an NFT that we're putting up.
Yeah. It could even be a materialistic thing. It doesn't have to be an NFT.
I used to play this dumb game with my friends
Like if you
when
need
we
new
were in high
shoes.
school. I always need these shoes.
You always need.
I used to play this dumb game with my friends in high school where we would wager things that were unimportant to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I had a friend, Ray, and Ray and I played rock, paper, scissors for the remote control to the CD player in my car at the time. Do you remember they used to have like a little remote control for the CD player?
Yeah.
He obviously can't do anything with that.
Uh-oh.
But the fact that I would lose it is the prize to him, that I would now be inconvenienced. So, yes, I like the idea of wagering for materialistic things, especially when it's just for the inconvenience of the other person.
Yeah, I mean, we're building some cool shit, and I haven't seen it out there. I've seen stuff that gets close to it, but for some reason they fell at it just because, I don't know, it could be either, they make the money and then they run, they leave or whatever. But what we're building, I haven't really seen it out there at all.
No. And the other good thing is that because we're building it from the ground up, it's being built with the
It's ours,
intention
yeah.
of being grown.
Correct.
So
yeah.
we will be able to build on top of this foundation and continue to build out the different mechanics that we're interested in. So some of the other mechanics that we've talked about is multipliers for your ants, right? The
Right.
range of points per ant from the top ant to the lowest one, it's maybe like a 30, 40 point swing. But if you start rewarding people for how long have you held this ant in your wallet, maybe that's a multiplier. Maybe if you hold X amount of ants in your wallet, that's a multiplier. If your total gang power is X amount, that's a multiplier. So we're
Right.
going to find all these ways to dissect the information that's in the wallet and then build these rewards on top of that. So you have a reason to not sell.
Yeah.
You have a reason to accumulate.
And not only that, we talked about obviously upgrading the NFTs, right? So let's say, for example, you want to do a 1-on-1 battle. I don't know, and I'll use you have 3 ants. Kevin has 20, but we can only battle 3, right? You could go and upgrade your NFTs.
Right. So maybe
Right.
those 3, my 3 and your 3, maybe
Right.
fairly equal in power total. But if you look at some of those other multipliers like upgrading or paying to upgrade, or they get more powerful by holding them longer, you start to create a bigger variance and swaying the odds in your favor.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a great idea. What we have going.
I think there's a lot of possibilities. It's just a matter of we have to try it first.
Yeah.
We've been talking about this for over a year.
For
We've
a
been
long time,
planning
yeah.
it, and we're close to being able to
It's
test
not that
it.
simple either. We get into arguments all the time about this stuff.
The same thing every time.
Yeah, no real arguments, but we do talk a lot about it because sometimes I don't understand it or Kevin doesn't understand my point, and it could be because I'm saying some crazy shit that he's like, "What the fuck is this guy talking about?" But at the end of the day, we both have a vision aligned, so I think we know what we want and how to do it. We just got to make sure it's built correctly. So this is why it's taking a long time for us to get it done, because we want to make sure it's done right and that the user has the experience that needs to be done. I come from a retail background. You come from a service background. So we both been doing this for a very long time, just servicing people. So we know what needs to be done to be able to have something look good for someone and to be interactive. Does that make sense?
Yes. The interesting thing is that our developer that we're working with, our main developer, side project, who's very good at what he does, it's interesting to hear his interpretation as we explain it, because in our heads we have it worked out so clearly. Each of us maybe differently, but when we try to explain it to him, it creates more questions. It leads to more questions. Say, well,
Right.
how do you do this? What does that look like, right?
Yeah.
So it pushes us to further clarify and even further simplify the process, which is a really good exercise for us, especially as we need to work on communicating the message to a broader audience.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to Side. I mean, he's really working stuff out with us and, helping us along the way with all our crazy ideas. And it's funny because I love how I shoot him a crazy idea and Side would be like, yeah, I could do that. He makes it sound like so easy.
Right.
And yet in my head, it's like so complicated.
Right. We can't see what's happening behind the scenes when he makes those things happen, but it is impressive that he's like, yep, I
It's
can
very
make that
impressive.
happen. So
Like a real shout out to Side out there. Hope he's listening.
to his point, he's like, can we wireframe out some of these things? So I'm
Yeah.
just going to put up on the screen what some of those things were from the user experience for the first round of battles here.
Yeah.
So we have, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so we have a few scenes here that we were able to kind of break out here. So imagine you log into the portal.rebelants.io, and you connect your wallet. You'll be able to see that the registration is open, meaning this is a time to register your ants for battles, because there will be an open and a close time, so that you have to be registered by a certain time so we can tell AI what the power is for each gang. You'll see which ants are, which gangs are battling. Excuse me. You'll see the prize. And then you'll see the running tally of all the other registered wallets. So you'll be able to say that your gang's power is this amount, which is the percentage of the total gang's power. And then you'll be able to see that the total gang's power is the percentage compared to the other gangs that it's battling. So you start to get a sense of like, where is the probability going to land on here? So you'll see all of that on the left side. And then you'll see your ants that are connected to your wallet in the middle here, and you'll filter it down to the ants that are eligible for battle, and you'll select them, and then you'll confirm your army. And that's what will dictate your percentage.
Right. A lot of alpha today. A lot of alpha.
This is how it's going. So if it was closed, if registration was closed, it would just say closed at the top, and you wouldn't be able to select anything, but you'd still be able to view your ants. One of the other windows or the other pages is just the wallet. So the ants are obviously on Ethereum, so we need to know your wallet is connected to register your ants, but the prize is going to be paid out for season 1 in our Pepe, which is
Solana. Yeah.
Solana. So we need your Sol address so we can send you the rewards.
Now, people got to remember, you're not putting any money into this. You're just winning money for just being active.
Just for
That's it.
owning an ant and going
for
into
being
the portal
active,
and
yeah.
registering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And where's this money coming from?
Your
My
pocket.
wallet.
Better yours than mine.
Just because I love this shit and I love you guys.
So then we'll also have the battle history displayed. So as we build up the seasons, within season 1, you'll see battle 1, the details. You'll see battle 2, the details. Who was the winner, what were the odds at that time, what was paid
Yeah.
out. So you can kind of go back and see. And then we'll also have your army, which really, this should be the one. Underline, that's so embarrassing. But yeah, you'll be able to just look at your ants, right? And then you'll be able to see your ants' power for each gang,
Right.
just in a non-battle format, just to say how much power do I have for each one.
The thing is that people got to remember, like, one of the cool things is that, for example, let's say you and I want to battle a certain gangs, right? If I only own one gang of that, it's gonna trigger me to go find some more of those ants, particular gang, right? And then and it's gonna cause me to trade. So one of the ideas is to obviously ensure that people are continuously trading ants if they want to, or to buy more ants if they want to, whatever it is, right? But I think it's a great idea to keep it interactive and keep it like fun, right? And not only have like the same ants over and over again. You get tired of looking at the same thing over and over again,
Like your face.
like your face. But the cool thing is that I can also upgrade my ant at some point.
Yeah.
All right, in the storyline, I'll be able to upgrade, unchain what I'm doing, the look of my ants.
We have a question from the audience, from a haggler.
What's the question?
Should they be referred to as colonies instead of gangs?
No.
First of all, there's one colony. It's called Battle for the Colony, singular.
Right, there's one colony.
One colony. There's gangs within it. They are warriors. I mean, there are warriors, there are shogun, there are ronin. So it's
Right.
the gangs within the colony.
And your ants are already belong to a gang. You got to go look at your attributes and see what gang your ants belong to.
Go check your meta, bro. Jeez. Why are you trying to throw us off? We've been 18 months into this.
I know. A lot of work has been put into this. A lot of work.
A lot of work, a lot of
Lot of
gangs.
thought.
A lot of gangs.
A lot of artwork. I spent the whole year drawing this thing, just so everybody knows. One whole year of getting yelled at by Kevin. Wasn't fun. It was not fun.
Where should we go next? Should we talk about our technological issues?
Are we
that
done
we've
giving
had?
alpha?
I'm done with alpha.
All right, for now we're done. Okay. We're not going to give any more out. There is more, but we're not going to give
There
any
is
more
more,
out.
but that's enough for now.
I think you guys got a good chunk of a lot of fucking alpha right now.
This is what the next 6 to 9 months looks like.
I know, this is crazy. I didn't even want to give this much out, but you know what? We did it anyways.
Hey, Latin Knight, if you keep harassing us, we're going to ban you. Thank you.
Latin Night's gonna get kicked out.
You're about to get banned. Banned from the show.
Anyway, what do you want to talk about?
I told you.
Abstract? No, I'm kidding.
No, I said to you after the show, I will tell you the journey I've been on to look at different streaming services because of the issues we've had with EVMux.
And it looks like we solved them all.
Maybe my updated device, my upgraded device that we'll use next time will help even further.
Yeah.
But I think it was still interesting to see the difference. So if you've watched the past 3 episodes, maybe 2 really.
No, it's been like the last 5 episodes.
No. It's when we started.
Kevin keeps fucking up the audio.
It's when we started to get 3 cameras. 3 cameras is when it stopped working.
It did, yeah, you're right.
So the last 3 episodes, we'll call it. We started off with audio issues that we weren't able to resolve to the extent we wanted to, often causing a restart and extreme frustration and taking us out of the jovial mood that we like to be in while talking about the things that we are so passionate about in the crypto world. So having said that, I was convinced that the streaming platform that we use, EVMux, was no longer a good fit for us. Like, it couldn't handle the things we were trying to do. We are not the biggest streamers in the world. We are not the biggest streamers on their platform, but we are trying to use their platform to the fullest extent, to the extent that we had to upgrade to the top plan because we wanted to have 3 cameras in studio. We do have 3 cameras. You can see this one wide shot here of both of us, and then you can see separate cameras.
Boom.
Okay, Latin Night, I swear to God, I will fucking ban you from this show.
What is he asking?
He only asked it once. I keep putting up.
Oh.
I'm just giving him a hard time. So now we have 2 cameras here that one is zoomed in on each of us. So that's 3 cameras. The other streaming platforms don't even all necessarily allow you 3 separate cameras. So I wanted to say, okay, how do we get more control over the streaming process where we're not relying on EVMux? I want it to be even more broken down so I can control every aspect, every audio aspect, every video aspect. The go-to answer for everyone in the streaming world is OBS. But as I learned, OBS doesn't give me all the functionality that I get with EVMux. And one of the biggest things, which is what makes it so relevant for us, is the integration with X or Twitter.
Yeah, I think that's important. Yeah.
Most streaming platforms don't integrate with X at all. What that means is you can do a custom connection with what's called an RTMP code, but it then doesn't bring in the comments from X, and it doesn't show the number of viewers on X. I did find a plugin that will show comments on X, but it won't show viewers on X. And since X is our biggest audience, what up, people? I thought it was too much. It was too much of a trade-off to give up the viewer and the comments from X. Where I looked at Restream, I looked at StreamYard, I looked at Ecamm Live, I looked at Prism Design Studio, I looked at Streamlabs.
I did see Prism.
I looked at like 6 different things. I signed up for all of them. I've downloaded all their shit on my computer. I can't wait to clear it off. But I created an account with each of them so I can understand what can I do, what can't I do. OBS.
How did that work out?
It's fucking full circle. Here we are using EVMux still because nothing could get me to be able to show the comments and the viewer count of X the way that this can. And I don't know how EVMux has figured this out and no one else has, because it seems like a detriment to the other companies to leave this off. But it was just
I have
so
seen this
frustrating.
on X though and other streams.
Of an X viewer count or just a viewer count?
No, not the X viewer count, but I've seen like the chat and all that.
Right, there is a way to pull in the comments, but it won't also show the viewers.
The viewers, gotcha.
I have not found any other platform. I've posted on Reddit. I've messaged people who were posting about things similar. There's actually a way to use OBS into EVMux. OBS will create a virtual camera. So where you see one of these as a camera, you can have a virtual camera, which is OBS's camera coming directly in.
Interesting.
That does allow you to then split up the audio and the video, because the video would come through OBS. The audio would still be controlled through one layer, essentially, for whatever that camera is. But the problem is we still would have other issues with the video things coming through. So
like what?
I'll tell you what. If we wanted to have a video setup like this, where there's 2 cameras, and then we had a guest come in, I can only have one virtual camera from OBS and then the guest. So I couldn't have 2 cameras like this and a guest. And hosting guests is a big part of what we do, because I'd only have one camera coming in from OBS, and then I can add a guest. So that's 2 cameras I can have. That's it. Whereas you might want to have one camera of me, one camera of you, and one camera of the guest. So that would be 3.
Got it.
So you can't do that with OBS because it only comes through as one source.
Yeah.
Instead of the way that we currently split it out now like this. You could have just the wide shot of us and the guest. But again, that doesn't give us all the flexibility we need, especially if we are not in the same room streaming. We lose the whole functionality of OBS then. So it's like it works in very few scenarios.
Sounds very complicated.
It's just not built for what we're trying to do. We are trying to be guest heavy, and we are trying to have multiple cameras going at the same time.
Yeah, I do like the multiple cameras, and I do like the new addition from today. We added a new camera today. It's also shout out to Osbot. I don't think they get enough. They
get a lot of shit actually, OpsBot.
They do get a lot of shit, but the cameras are fucking fantastic, dude.
The cameras work well and they look good.
And they just released like 3 new cameras like on Friday or something like that.
Their shit ain't cheap, but it seems
No,
like
it's
it's
not
worth
cheap.
it.
But these cameras are meant to like do some. They're meant to be production cameras, like real production cameras that you could use. And I think they do it well. I think they pack a lot of technology inside those little Osbot cameras.
Yeah, they look very. The feature list seems very thoughtful for different purposes.
No, for sure, yeah.
They have incredible AI tracking. They have hand gesture control, things that we don't do here.
Yeah.
But we're not the intended audience for all those features. We
Correct,
just need
yeah.
high quality streaming that's reliable. That's what we care about.
The only thing I'm going to tell you that I don't like about EVMux is that they don't stream in 4K.
Right. So again, with OBS, you could stream in 4K, but not through EVMux, because then EVMux will only put out.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're streaming just from OBS, we lose all the X. We lose a lot of the X stuff.
Correct. Yeah.
Which is why it's like, it'd be so nice to we're almost there. With each of these, they each do something different.
Yeah.
That's great, but nothing comes together the way EVMux does. But again, it doesn't stream in 4K, which is really the ideal situation.
Well, I think that too. At some point, they'll upgrade. They're still doing features and stuff.
Every time I log into the system, there's changes happening and for the better. So I do believe that they're very committed to still developing and delivering
I'm sure.
great product. But none of these no-code web-based streaming platforms seem to stream in 4K. Restream, StreamYard. Maybe Ecamm Live does. Maybe I'd have to double check, but they don't have the same Twitter connection.
Yeah. Hey, talking about everything. Did you check out my sweater?
I did check out your sweater.
How cool is this
We've
sweater?
got an ape chain sweater
Shout out to Okina.
from Okina Labs, and I like the red drawstring. I like the contrast there. You've got an ape logo on your arm,
That's right.
on the sleeve, and the other arm has the ape chain logo.
Yeah.
And how does it feel? How does it feel?
Styling. Feels good.
Can you put your hood up for us so we can just see it?
Want to put my hoodie up?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Can you put it over the headphones? Does it fit? Or is your head too big?
No, it fits. That was crazy.
It looks
but
very comfy. I'm actually a little surprised you didn't order 2.
super warm.
Surprised you didn't order me 1.
I could order another one.
Don't do me any favors.
No, I love
Don't
this
do
sweater.
me any favors.
It's comfy. It is comfy. Shout out to Okina again. Those guys are doing
Shout
some cool
out
stuff.
to okay.
What
Having
else?
said that,
Yeah, go ahead.
any news you want to touch on? Anything? There's a lot happening, right? The big titles, the
There's
big
a-
stories.
There's a lot of shit happening.
The big stories are Doodles announced their token, Dude.
Yeah.
OpenSea announced their token.
Right?
Pudgy Penguin is, chugging along at the same stellar pace that they have been, and they seem to have a lot of good things in the works. You shared with me a very insightful interview with Luca,
Yeah.
and the future of Pudgy and what's happening with Pengu. But
Did you get a chance to look at the interview or no?
No,
Okay.
I needed you to take notes.
It was a quick interview because he was like running late, and then he had like a call or something he needed to do. But he did tell the guy that he would come back and give him the full hour.
Yeah.
But he jam packed like his 30 minutes there with like information of stuff.
Yeah. So I have a bunch of tweets lined up that maybe the next week we'll get to, especially if more news is out. There was also some interesting posts from Sean from the PG Jirasan,
Shout out to
group,
Sean. Shout out to Sean.
specifically about Redacted,
Yeah.
and people trying to clear up that this is not an NFT token. This is not a meme coin. This is a very specific token that serves a very specific purpose.
With a lot of utility.
A
Yeah.
lot of utility and designed to support the whole ecosystem around PG and other things, right?
Yeah.
So I'd like us to dive into that more, maybe next week, especially as things continue to develop.
Sean had a couple of interviews. Obviously, we've had Sean in our show a couple of times. Shout out to Sean again, one of our good friends. It's doing some crazy building there, man. Like, people really need to take notice of what's happening at Jirasan. Like, this is not just like you said, it's not just a meme coin. It's a real coin with real utility and real products behind it. It's not your average thing. So I think people really need to look at Jirasan.
Yep. Let's do a deep dive into that next week with everything that's available to us. And then maybe in the near future, we'll get Sean back on and talk shop. I want to share with you one story before we go.
Sure.
And I want to get your thoughts on it. I sent you a link to this. I think you might have ignored it at the time, which is typically how you treat me
I usually delete
in any news that I share with you. This has to do with Christie's, the auction house.
With what?
Christie's, the auction house.
Okay. Never heard of it, but okay.
Bro, of course you have. Okay, so this happened maybe a week and a half ago. So here's a story from TechCrunch.
Wait, can I tell you how happy I am? Can I tell you
Go
how
ahead.
happy
How
I am?
happy are you?
That the audio's working.
I'm about to mute your mic and you don't shut the fuck up while I'm trying to talk.
So excited that the audio's working.
I know it is.
I hope Casey's watching
It is a
because
good feeling.
Casey, the audio is working.
Yes. Well,
Damn it.
Actually, thank you. I'm going to pull.
Finally.
I'm going to pull up the story here on TechCrunch. Okay, so this story is called "Christie's Announces AI Art Auction and Not Everyone is Pleased." So I
I
know
did see
this
this.
isn't this week's news, but I still think it's interesting, and I wanted to talk about it with you as a fellow artist.
Okay.
Okay. So here's the tea. Fine art auction house Christie's has sold AI-generated art before, but soon it plans to hold its first show dedicated solely to works created with AI, an announcement that has been met with mixed reviews. The auction, which Christie's is calling Augmented Intelligence, will feature artwork from artists including Matt Dryhurst, the founder of AI startup Spawning AI. A robot that paints live is set to be the exhibition centerpiece at Christie's Rockefeller Center Galleries in New York beginning on February 20th. Users on social media were quick to point out that many generative AI tools for art were trained on artists' work without their permission. Critics argued that shows like Augmented Intelligence put this work on a pedestal at the expense of those creating art by hand. So hold on, the story goes on. There's now an open letter demanding that Christie's cancels the auction. It's reached over 1,800 signatures in less than 24 hours.
Wow.
Hold on, there's more. The artists represented in the sale have all have strong existing multidisciplinary art practices, some recognizing leading museum collections, said a Christie's spokesperson. The works in this auction are using artificial intelligence to enhance their bodies of work, and in most cases, AI is being employed in a controlled manner with data trained on the artist. Okay, so
Interesting.
the story goes on.
Okay.
Because your boy, Jack Butcher,
He
who loves to tell stories,
is part of this?
well, he has his own spin on this, which this is the link you ignored. There was, so this is a post that we're showing now from Jack Butcher, at Jack Butcher. And he took the letter that was created that the other artists signed off on, the 1,800 artists, which has grown now. He took that letter and turned that into an NFT.
No, he didn't.
So in his post, vv.run/undersigned, that's a web address, right? That's a link. So you mint this. So it's called Undersigned Artist, an open letter as an open edition, a protest as a product, a refusal as an artifact. Undersigned Artist takes a collective act of dissent and appeal to halt an AI art collection and turns it into the very thing it resists, a minted piece of digital art.
Wow.
Isn't that awesome? It's so meta. I fucking love it.
How do you...
I love the way that he turns,
Yeah,
like,
I
he
love
finds the thing happening and, like, pinpoints the exact issue with
Yeah.
it and then, like,
Turns it
puts
around.
it on
Yeah.
display.
I love it.
So, I want to zoom out of the Jack Butcher beautiful art here that he's created of the letter against artificial intelligence art and just kind of ask, what are your thoughts about a auction of only AI-generated art? And that idea that it's based on other artists who are unnamed, uncredited, uncompensated. I don't think uncompensated is a word.
Well, based on the fact that
Now
they're
it is.
uncompensated
I like saying
and
uncompensated.
unknown, I think that this is a cool idea. I don't see what the wrong is on this. Too, I also think that people don't understand the power of AI art, right? Like we've talked about this plenty of times in a lot of different episodes. How remember when we first started this, and I was really against it as an artist because I was like, this shit is gonna like take over. Like, what am I supposed to draw from now on? Like the creative. But then the more you dig in, the more you start to think like, hey, maybe there's use cases for it where there's people with disabilities that can use this for art, to be able to express themselves and stuff like that. And when you really think about it in that sense, it makes a lot of sense to have it, right? But not only that, I started dabbing into AI art too. And you know this, right?
Wait, is art from Battle for the Colony?
No, hell no. No. Are you
artificially
crazy?
generated? I know. All that shit is hand drawn down to the pixel.
All that shit is hand drawn, crying, sweating here at home, getting yelled at by Kevin.
Zoomed in 10x.
Zoom in all the way in. Like, what is this line here? No, but in all reality, like, so the thing with AI doesn't give you a perfect picture, right? When you give it the prompts, it doesn't give you a perfect picture at all. Right. So you as an artist or as a creator, you have to figure out what those prompts are that you need to be able to perfect that art. That in its own is an artistic expression. Does that make sense?
It does. We have 70 people watching. I'd love to hear their opinion if they think an auction of just AI generated art is okay or not okay. But how do you balance that with the inspiration for the AI generated art is coming from other people's work?
Yeah,
Do
but
you
these
feel
are
like they should, that they should have a say in it somehow? I mean, there is no way to know where it's coming from, but it's not the person who's selling it. The person who's selling that AI generated art isn't the one who created the basis for it, right? So do they get to take credit for whatever that amalgamation is that the artificial intelligence came up with? Based to what you're saying about the prompt, and so you're okay with it.
I think both should be able to get credit for it. If it's based on some sort of artist out there, then I think both should get the credit for it.
So these 1,800 people that signed, do you think fuck you?
I think they're stupid.
Oh,
they're not
shots
known.
fired.
It's not that they're shots fired. It's that I feel like they don't understand the basics behind it. They don't understand. You're an asshole. I feel like they don't understand like how this can actually help them and catapult them into doing other things. Like how crazy is that? Especially something that has this many eyes on it now.
That's true.
Like, hello, like you got to think about it in a bigger perspective. Stop being so narrow-minded. Like you shouldn't be that narrow-minded, especially as an artist. You shouldn't be narrow-minded at all.
Yeah.
You should be able to see this from a lot of different. Now I'm getting mad because now I'm getting passionate about it because you should be able as an artist to see all different perspectives of what's happening here.
I'm going to reach out to all 1,800 people and ask if any of them want to come on the show and defend their position to you.
You know what? Yes. Let's do that.
This is an open invitation to 1,800 people to come on the show at once, and we'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Thank you.
But it's true if you really think about it. Look, how many I would be like, yeah, my name is on there. They use me for that. Yeah, let's do it. That's cool.
Well, you don't know who you
and Jack Butcher did this? What?
Oh, yeah.
So many eyes on this.
Oh, Jack Butcher warms my heart, everything he does.
It does. I love Jack Butcher.
He can do no wrong to me.
Nah, he's the man. I like him. Yeah.
All right. Any parting words you'd like to share with our 71
how many hours we've been going?
How many hours? 1 hour. It's now 9 o'clock.
An hour and 18 minutes?
No, we started the stream 18 minutes early.
Oh, you're right.
To let people rock out to some
sweet
jams. We had Get Up Kids. We had Bright Eyes. We're going to now have to cut that out so that YouTube doesn't ban us for using copyrighted.
Oh, that's true.
This is what we do. Also, when somebody starts the video, I want them to see us not listening to music for 20 minutes, not knowing when the show's
No,
on. We got to hook them.
The music.
We got to hook them.
I like the music.
You can't keep the music in YouTube. It's against copyright rules.
I know that, but you know what?
That's why people should join us live 20 minutes early.
Well, we'll just wait until they say something.
No.
It's one of those.
I'm trying to monetize over here, okay? I'm trying to get some new shoes.
You're trying to monetize on YouTube. We're never going to monetize on YouTube. You stop that. I want to
monetize on Abstract.
I want to monetize on X. Not even Abstract. I love Abstract. Shout out to them too. But you know what? They gave us the cold shoulder. So They did, yeah. And it's okay. It's okay because we're building our own shit. So, one day we'll be looking at them behind us and be like, oh, what happened,
We've made it this far.
What happened, Abstract?
We've made it this far.
It just gives me more motivation, actually, to keep going. And keep building and keep having ideas because I'm full of them.
Listen, next week's
fucking
show,
full of ideas. You hear me, Luca? No, I'm kidding. I love you, Luca.
Hire this man. Next week's
Love
show
him.
will be even better than this one.
Whose show?
Next week's show. Like,
Oh, yeah.
When we do this next week.
Because you're going to have the new computer.
New computer.
Fucking audio's going to go wrong
yeah.
again.
No. Everything is going to be sweet. Sweet.
Dude, you know, I'm looking around and all I have here is like 100 little pudgy penguins all over the place. I got pudgies over there. I got pudgies up here. I got pudgies behind me. It's
a real
pudgies
igloo
on the
in here.
table. It's very igloo in here. Yeah, I got pudgies up there. I didn't even notice those up there. So let me tell you what happened. I went into Walmart when they first came out. Did I ever tell you the story of how it happened?
Tell me.
I took a shopping cart and just fucking filled it up with, with pudgies and just bought them all, bro.
You see that thing I did where I just said, tell me, even though I knew the
Oh,
story?
look. You see
That's
underneath.
called being a good improv partner.
Wait, you see underneath the desk?
Yeah, I see cases.
I
Are those
got
the new ones?
cases. Yeah, those are new ones, bro.
No, there are new ones that just came out.
No. These I bought all together. Those
Hold on.
pudgies there.
I might have the picture up.
Those cases down there, they're full of pudgies, bro. I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fucking fan. Not on abstract though. We're not there.
on abstract.
It's all right. It's cool.
All right.
I'm not mad.
Listen to our
am
75
mad.
viewers. Do us a
Maybe.
favor. Head over to rebelants.io. Get yourself a Rebel Ant Battle for the Colony for 0.0025 ETH. If you're lucky, maybe you'll mint one of the rare ones. Get a bounty paid out by this guy right over here. This guy. Drink your milkshake.
Drink.
I drink your milkshake.
Still on this milkshake shit?
I love that movie. Can you tell me the name
I don't
of the
even
movie?
know what this movie's
Oh my
from, bro.
God.
Like,
it's
what
called
do you
There Will Be Blood.
Only you and Casey know this shit.
Oh, what does that tell you?
There will be blood. Oh, I've seen this. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Have a great night. We look forward to talking shit with you next week.
That is correct, sir.
Peace.
Peace the fuck out. Good night,
Bye.
everybody.